Good evening. Welcome to NSAKA on Ubuntu.
Globally, 85% of infertility is because of infections, typically the chlamydia and the gonorrhea.
Your time is up. Thank you so much.
Since I've been mentioned, I can react to what comment Chinda just
Yes.
I haven't finished my point.
Remember,
No, let me finish my point so that my brother can.
Does the Patriotic Front know?
Apologies for that technical glitch. This is live TV, and such things happen once in a while. May I just welcome you back again to Ubuntu channel. It's a Thursday. Compliments of the season to everyone who's watching us. We are on our social profiles on Facebook. It's Ubuntu channel Zambia, Ubuntu channel live. On YouTube, it's Ubuntu channel, and on X, it is Ubuntu channel. Tonight, we are looking at another exciting topic, even as we are closing down the year. The days are running out and we are counting down into a new year. We are looking at the forbidden fruit, prohibited sex. And as always, we do have our in-house counselor, no other than Evangelist Shabuula, joining us tonight to guide us through this topic and discussion that we are having. Evangelist, good evening and welcome.
CJ, good evening, and Mr. Mukelevai and everyone else in the studio, you are welcome, and good evening to all those that are watching us and are going to participate. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Evangelist. Mukelevai, welcome to Ubuntu channel's NSAKA. Good evening.
Good evening and Merry Christmas to everyone. Good evening, viewers.
Thank you very much, Mukelevai. Viewers, please share this broadcast. Invite someone, okay? Tag someone so that we can have this conversation going. And we will be sharing the link, and the line will be scrolling down there for you to call in and participate so that we can engage on today's topic. Like I said, we are looking at forbidden fruit, prohibited sex. Now, to get the program going, I'm going to just bring in Evangelist so that he can give us an introduction to this topic, and we can start shooting as we go on. Evangelist, over to you.
Thank you, CJ. This evening, we are going to look at some of the prohibited acts that we should not involve ourselves in. And I call them human errors or human mistakes, or mistakes that we commit without knowing how serious our actions are in the end. And so deliberately, I've decided to come up with the 12 points which we need to look at and discuss as a family, that is you and me. So I just want to ask you to be very sensitive, to be very attentive. And on each point, if you've got a pen and a paper, you can write down, and then there should be time for you to ask questions or to make comments. 12 points. Number one, the sex you must not have. I'm going to talk about sex. So under this heading, we are going to look at 10 points, 12 points, 12 points. Point number one, you must never agree to have sex with a married man, no matter what he promises or prophesies. Never. Why? He is a constituency which is occupied. He is a seat which is occupied. Now, there are very, very few men that will stick to their promise when they tell you that they will marry you. There are very, very few men. Yes, they can marry you, but they can promise you, but can they marry you? The only people that we think, have the possibility of marrying are the Tongas. The Tongas, they marry, they are polygamous people, and also other tribes, the Shonas, the Ndebeles, and the other tribes in Zambia. But the Tongas, in most cases, yes, they can marry more than one. But what I would want to tell you is that, most of the married people, they would not want to get another lady. So you sometimes, in most cases, you end up making a mistake by having sex with them. Because under that, you may get pregnant. The question is, will they accept that pregnancy? Are they going to tell their wives, or is he going to tell his wife at home that he has pregnated you? Will that child be accepted to join the rest of the brothers and sisters of that family? So before you get into this act, think twice. The second point, never agree to have sex with your boss. Never agree to have sex with your boss. If the harassment in your company where you are working becomes too much, resign and trust God for a better job. As simple as that. If your boss is forcing you in order for him to have sex with you, or there is some kind of harassment, and that harassment becomes too much, it is better for you to resign and trust God for a better job. Why? Now, I want you to understand this. If you begin to have a sexual relationship with your boss, the question is, how are you going to work together in that company, in that office, in that environment? Remember, you have got also other friends that are eyeing you, other men that are eyeing you, or some old boyfriends. When they are going to visit that office, when they are going to come into that company, how will they be received by your boss? How is it going to be with you?
Well, connectivity issues, as usual, with live TV. I think we have lost Evangelist there. We hope he can join back in soon. Now, we are looking at the forbidden fruit, prohibited sex, and Evangelist has mentioned to say that he is strictly going to talk about sex and people that you are not supposed to have sex with. And so far, he has mentioned that do not have sex with a married person. For ladies, do not have sex with a married man. No matter what he promises you, no matter what they say, they will just be wasting your time and playing you around. If a man is married, he's already taken. He's just enjoying what you are giving him. And he has been, the second thing he mentioned is having sex with your boss. Do not have sex with your boss. Now, share this broadcast, invite someone, and let the comments start flowing through. Make sure you just tag someone along and be free. We want to interact with you. What are your thoughts on tonight's discussion? What are your thoughts on what we are looking at? Who which people are you not allowed to have sex with? And these days we see a lot of things going on around, and some things seem to have been taken normal, but from our traditional aspect and where we're coming from, certain things were considered a taboo. Just recently, we heard of the instruction that the Pope gave in relation to same-sex marriages, and in the Catholic Church, they have now allowed that to be a normal thing where gay couples can be married, same-sex people can be married off in church. Some time back, and let me say in our African culture, that is a taboo. Even right now, we do have local Catholic churches and bishops who've said, for us, this instruction is against our law. It's against the law. Who could have this interaction with them. Director, please share the link in the comment section so that people can join the studio and we can have this conversation going on, as well as the number that they can call us on to make contributions, whether via WhatsApp, you can make voice call, whether a local one. Please do so that we can patch you through to the studio and you will be able to interact with us. Von Kelebai, I would like to have your thoughts on tonight's discussion. Please come.
Thank you so much, TJ. Well, today's topic is an interesting one, and I really wanted to know where Bo Shabuula was going to take us with his 12 points of the forbidden fruit. Otherwise, we know that for as long as you are an adult, you have reached a legal age, you become active, sexually active. And what we always advise people, the teenagers or the people, or adults who are not yet, have not committed themselves, or who are committed who are already committed, and those who are not committed, is to stick to one partner and use a condom. Unlike what you, the Tonga people, do, where you always stick to many multiple sexual partners. But it is your custom and it is allowed in Zambia. When you are married under African customary law, African customary law has a provision where you can also marry more than one wife. And there are also procedures in that aspect where you can marry. You have to bring in a second wife. You have to first of all take it with your first wife or second wife or third wife, especially Mwatonga. You cannot just marry anyhow. You need to get some kind of permission or consent from the from your or my guru or yeah, and then everything falls in place. But what we see, because men, we are full of ourselves, we're too much proud of ourselves, and we use sex as sometimes as a punishment tool to our women. We use sex to intimidate our already partner that we have already in our homes, that if you don't do this, I'm gonna give it to someone else. But guess what? We have also seen that our women also, they have become aware of this punishment, and they're using the same punishment to punish us. So you find that we end up either giving each other diseases or killing the love, the passion that we have in a relationship. The issue about love, or we cannot restrict people from having sex. You can have sex, as much sex as you want, but you must have sex with a partner that you have chosen. You have to be monogamous, or if you have decided to go the route of polygamy, you have to make it clear and state it clear from the onset, so that at least the society and everyone is aware. So you don't have to hide, like we see today. Almost married men in Zambia or in Africa, we always have this notion or mindset of having a kaside chick kumbali, despite you being afraid of being caught, or despite all these dangers that we give ourselves, the dangers of uh, diseases and home breakage, and of course expenses, we go ahead and do those things willfully, willingly. And then when the other ladies or the so-called side chicks come on board, or rather want it to be known, want the world to know, then you pretend, or you start showing this guilty face as though you never went into this with your wide eyes open. So these are self-inflictions that we have. So when we tell people to say, stick to one partner and use a condom, or rather use protection, have safe sex, we are not telling you to stop having sex. We are not telling you to stop being active from having sex. And the good thing about Zambia is that we also have our faith that controls us, that control our moral behavior in society. How do we um, go around in society when we have this God that we pray to, that look after us, that is watching over us? So we are so lucky that we have this faith that is also telling us, trying to navigate us or control us to use the right path and to abstain from sex or adultery. We have, it's there, the rules are there, the rule in the Bible is there, and it is a sin. And then when we come back to our own tradition, also our tradition also tells us certain rules, that you cannot have multiple partners, or you can have multiple. So you find there's a lot of conflicts of these issues. The Bible says this, our society says this, and then peer pressure, and we come to our behavior and the world, internet. We find there's a lot of information out there talking over the same one thing. At the end of the day, it is you that has a choice and a decision to make, that when you do it, are you doing it with the right conscience or with the right reason, or you just want to do it for the sake of satisfaction or lust or envy, or you see? So we have to really be very mindful as we go on, because we are playing with other people's feeling, especially women. Us men, we by nature multiply. We are meant to go hunting and to have as many, or we can impregnate as many women as we want. But a woman is impregnated once in 9 months or once a year. So the question is, you can tell that the women, they want to keep you. They are doing it for their security. They go into a relationship because of their heart. They get invested in the relationship. They go there because they have a feeling, they fall for you and they want to keep you. But the problem that we have done in this world is that us men have taken that advantage and taken this issue for granted, where we abuse. We have now decided to turn it into something else where we have to punish our women, either by having multiple, so that they feel jealous among each other. And then you see now the killing and the hate and the lusts and envy. So there's a lot of there's a danger in abusing this sexual drive that we have, that God gave us, but we need to know how to do it, who to give it to. And that's why kuli weddings mupaka maringi pukwanja kwa mkazi then wamupaka pa nyumba mwambonkala vonse. That's where you can enjoy as much any position that you want, even when you're moving on the street, you can hold hands, kiss. There's nothing to fear because she is your partner, she's your wife. But what do we see those things these days? All we see in Tumanyama, Tatubasikana, those who are beginning to love, to my relationship, that's where we see, I love you, but once you marry, you find a wife, there's a distance. Ngati mwenda mtaoni mwaona pamuna wao wali sogolo wakazi wao wali 2 meters apart or 3 meters. To me, that is not chikondi. That is why tibanama na wakazi. So issue ya sex mwandini is a very personal issue, because it depends on us individually. There are those that take the Bible seriously. There are those that take miambo seriously. There are those that take pornography seriously. So it's not easy.
Please summarize your thought.
Oh yeah. What I can say is that let us just play it safe. Let us be careful on how we use sex, especially Sevamuna, the women that we sleep with. We have to also take into account they're human beings, they have feelings, and they would want to keep you. For a woman to open up and decide to let you in, to allow you in, it means she has invested her time and money, and she has thought through, and she has decided, she has come to terms that you are the one. And then suddenly, Mwamusiaeka, then you break their heart. And then you see that when they find another person, that woman that you left, you just used her sexually. After being disappointed, then we are the ones that start calling Wajawakazi at Mahule. But meanwhile, we are the one who are creating them. So let us just be careful in the manner in which we sleep around with our women. We have sex with our women. Stick to one partner. Stick to our partners, Wakazbat Manyumba, and use protection, safe sex. That's what I can say for him.
Thank you, Bomkilabai. Right now, we're going to go on a break, and we shall see on the other side if we can try to get Evangelist back on the program, whether via call or live through the studio, so that we can get what he has in store for us tonight. Please, Director, give us an ad, and viewers, see you after the break.
85% of infertility is because of infections, typically the chlamydia and the gonorrhea.
Your time is up. Thank you so much.
Maybe, since I've been mentioned, I can react to what comment Chinda just
Yes.
I haven't finished my point.
Remember,
No, let me finish my point so that my brother can.
Does the Patriotic Front know the kind of damage they have done to our economy and to our country? I do not.
The alleged abduction of Pamela Chisupa, and this case has really kept us on our toes. And in as much as
nobody has been acquitted from this new dawn administration cases that have been started, there's nobody that has been acquitted. Okay.
CJ, foreplay. I'm not talking about jump and begin acting like a kangaroo. No, foreplay. Many of us as Africans, we lack this virtue. This is not there.
Yeah, the time twaje ku Malabo. Quite about the first game twale tena wa Senegal. I think very tutasana underrated because even the warm up, you can see the way they are doing warm up. Vale munakati bola na wawina kale no.
It's actually good if you start creating competition in the team. If you don't create competition, then you will have a problem. Who to replace when one is injured?
The names people have been calling me, I accepted them and I will stand them. But what I would prefer being called as a nickname, I would prefer being called Sambalung.
From it, we can't make the Bible fit us and have things that make Esther feel good, and things that Esther doesn't really feel good about, she'll edit out.
We're trying to represent Zambia from a different side of things. We just don't want to be regular, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to package ourselves to Africa and the world.
Globally, 85% of infertility is because of infections, typically the chlamydia and the gonorrhea.
Your time is up. Thank you so much.
Maybe, since I've been mentioned, I can react to what comment Chinda just.
Yes. I haven't finished my point.
Remember,
no, let me finish my point so that my brother can.
Does the Patriotic Front know the kind of damage they have done to our economy and to our country? I do not.
The alleged abduction of Pamela Chisupa, and this case has really kept us on our toes. And in as much as
nobody has been acquitted from this new dawn administration cases that have been started. There's nobody that has been acquitted. Okay.
CJ, foreplay. I'm not talking about jump and begin acting like a kangaroo. No, foreplay. Many of us as Africans, we lack this virtue. This is not there.
Yeah, the time twaje ku Malabo. Quite about the first game twale tena wa Senegal. I think valituta sana underrated because even the warm up, you can see the way they are doing warm up. Bale munakati bola na bawina kale nyo.
It's actually good if you start creating competition in the team. If you don't create competition, then you will have a problem. Who to replace when one is injured?
The names people have been calling me, I accepted them and I welcomed them. But what I would prefer being called as a nickname, I would prefer being called Sambalung.
From it, we can't make the Bible fit us and have things that make Esther feel good, and things that Esther doesn't really feel good about, she'll edit out.
We're trying to represent Zambia from a different side of things. We just don't want to be regular, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to package ourselves to Africa and the world.
Globally, 85% of infertility.
Apologies for the long break there. Welcome back to our discussion tonight. We are looking at the forbidden fruit, prohibited sex, and we have managed to get back Evangelist. Unfortunately, due to network challenges, he's not able to come through video, but we do have him on call. So Evangelist, you had given 2 points. The first one, do not have sex with a married person. The second one, do not have sex with your boss. So please just do a quick summary on those two, and then you can proceed. Evangelist.
Yes. I think let me just continue. Let's get the third point.
All right, please.
The third point is, if God put people under your care, or you are a mentor, you are a supervisor, you are the manager, you are the boss, no matter the amount of love you have, do not go for your juniors. The people that you supervise, never take advantage of God's people, no matter what. No matter how poor they are, don't take advantage of those people that you work with. When you are a supervisor, don't touch those girls. Do not touch those boys or those men. You don't. Because you are taking advantage of them. The fourth point, don't have sex with a married woman. If you are getting too much attached, either via chatting or official work or academic rapport, break up that closeness or whatever name you have for it. Don't. She's a married person, respect her for what she is. Even if she is under your supervision, even if you are the boss, leave her alone. When she comes to work, she does not report for sex. She reports for work to feed her family, and so respect her. and respect also the husband at home. So don't. The other point, now the fifth point, never have sex with your lecturers. CJ is very, very, very common, especially among young ladies. Sex for grade or marks is for non-entity. Those who are not in the people, they may be at the bottom power so that they can get to the top. Do not use your body in order to get high marks or to pass an exam. It is wrong, and it's just to prove that you are nothing. The sixth point, if you are a marketer, you are a salesperson, you are selling something to the people, never agree to sleep with a prospective client just to meet your official target. Never. You are selling tomatoes. You are selling new computers. You are selling cars. You are selling shoes. Whatever you are selling, do not use your merchandise to sell your blood to the people. Because the people will degrade you. They will sleep with you, but they will know that you are useless. So do not use your merchandise in order for you to find a sex mate. The seventh point, don't have sex with your in-laws. If he or she stays with you and you are finding it difficult to resist a fool, let him or her leave. I mean latest tomorrow. CJ, if you have got your Mulam, she's as beautiful as her sister, who is the wife. Do not touch her. Do not even come closer to her. The problem, everything started from, no, my wife, my Mulam, you are my wife. Those things, they can lead you to accidents. So do not do that. Because when you do that, you are dividing the family. And they will never be united. Why should you separate a family that was well united, working together, no dressing well? You come in and destroy it. Don't do that. And also watch how your sister-in-law dresses. Certain kind of dressing is provocative. Do not allow that kind of dressing that can upset the boat in your trousers. Be careful. So do not allow that. Talk to her and talk to her sister, that's your wife. She should not come closer to you. The eighth point, don't have sex with your neighbor's wife or her neighbor or the neighbor himself or her neighbor herself. Do not have sex with them. A neighbor is a neighbor. A colleague is a colleague. Don't get your life more complicated. Why? Sometimes you find that when you fall in love with this neighbor, the relationship between you and between your wife and that neighbor will be strained. It will be complicated. It will be difficult to maintain. And sometimes you find that you yourself as a man, your behavior will change at home. Because your eyes will be at the neighbor's home and create a problem in your relationship with your wife. So don't get closer to them. And when you've got such a neighbor, don't bring stories that have got to do with the sex. Naive mwaka masiku mbili na njala chado amuna banu pamea naenda kumongu na manje wakalipo kubwela manje muka branch. That kind of talk is bad. The ninth point, don't have sex with your platonic friend. If the relationship is no longer platonic, break up the the thing. Don't do that. You are going to create more problems than solutions. The 10th point, I believe God created sex to be between male and female. Stay away from having sex with your same sex. God is against homosexuality, and so should you. Do not fall in love for a fellow man. Do not fall in love with your fellow woman, because God has not allowed that. And he calls it an abomination, according to Romans chapter 1, verse 18 to 20. You don't get into it. Now, let me explain here. You may think that I'm going to insult, but I have to say it this way. CJ.
Yes, Evangelist.
I want you to understand that the way God made our bodies, those that want to use the anus as a vagina, they must understand that the anus has got one way. That is one way inside. I mean, one way outside. It removes what is the inside to come outside. It does not take anything from outside into inside. And when you do that, you push your dick into your anus. You are actually doing the opposite of what God created. And the ring, the muscle around that anus, you are overstretching it. When you overstretch it, then you lose the grip to close the anus. And so, if you do it many times, that muscle will be lost. As a result, matumbi yazamba kutoka chabe, yatoka chako linkezi, but with the chabe. You want to know what is happening. It's because you've been shagged with kumatako. So that is not normal. Even animals, I want to say this, even animals, CJ, you will never find a male dog riding on a male dog. Even a donkey, a male donkey, and a female, another male donkey. A female donkey and another female donkey, it doesn't happen. It is only happening among sick human beings. Those are the one who does that. So that should not be found or mentioned among human beings. It is wrong and it is sinful. The 11th point, don't have sex with your sibling or relatives. This is evil and it is vile. You know, our bodies have got what we call genes. It has got hormones. It has got all these things that are connected to us in the blood. When you have sex with the same species, those that belong to you, in most cases, you are actually transferring the same sickness. If it is a mental problem, it will go to the offspring. Bwana mimi wazamba bazamba kufunta, bazamba kupena, bazamba kukala dao, and certain sickness will just be transferred to the offspring. So to avoid this, you should not have sex with a sibling or a relative, not even your mlam. It should not be. And finally, the 12th point, don't have sex with your girlfriend. CJ, yes, don't have sex with your girlfriend or your boyfriend. Don't have sex with your boyfriend. God did not create sex for love relationship. He created it for marriage. I'll repeat that. Don't have sex with your girlfriend or boyfriend. God did not create sex for love relationship. It is for marriage. Sex is for procreation What is procreation? Ubana. It is also for entertainment for people that are married. If you want sex, marry. Get married. Don't dream about it. Don't hope about it. Don't think about it. Get married. The only sex you should have is with your legally married partner. Legally married partner. I end here and invite questions and contributions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Evangelist. I'll start with the last point that you said. Do not have sex with your girlfriend or boyfriend. In your Himba, Evangelist, these days sex has been casualized, and I would say marriage used to be held as sacred, but these days it's very normal. Okay, even if kuma wedding we see white dresses and what kulina ma mileage kudala natamanga kudala. Now, is it possible that people can stay a boyfriend and girlfriend without sex? Because with the way society has taken it, so sex is a must in a girlfriend-boyfriend relationship.
Thank you, CJ. Thank you for asking that question. I want you to listen to me. The reason why we've got this program, CJ, it is to bring back morality.
Yes.
This program brings back morality. It brings in morals. It brings in ethics. It brings in the life that God expects and the life which human beings expect. The issue is that what you are talking about is what is abnormal. So we are not going to allow abnormality to take over normality. So what we are saying is, let's go to what is not popular. What is not popular is abstaining, from having sex with a person you intend to get married, until the church prays for you, until you are given that wife by the parents and by the church and by the government. You must understand that in each marriage, for each marriage to stand, there must be 3 people that are going to pray to have a play. Number 1, let me say 4. Number 1, you accept the 2 of you as partners.
Yes.
Number 2, it is the church to be involved. The other one, it is now the government. Then from there, it is God himself. So when this is done, then you become husband and wife. Legal. And when you get married, you will enjoy your sex without looking over the shoulders. Even when there is sickness, you will know that this sickness is between the 2 of us. Even when there is pregnancy, you will know that umwana for sure nuanga, not ibana bameri munkara nao bakabati umwana wako ukamuyangala mwana ukweza mpuno ni yachirozi niendo ni yachitonga. No, that's not it. Mwana ananka na mapatches uku miendo ni yachitonga, mpuno ni yakuchipata, miendo ni yachivemba. It's because of this kind of life. So the purpose of this program, CJ, is to bring back morality.
Yes.
To bring back what is not popular, what is not traditional. This is the abstaining. So I still repeat myself that we need to abstain if we are not yet married until we are legally married.
Thank you, Evangelist. Thank you for that one. I just remembered one thing. Even in schools, they are now distributing condoms, and there's this debate going on, like in colleges and hotels and whatever. So yeah, it's a hot issue. Now, before
just that one.
Yes.
That one is for people that are weak in mind.
Mhm.
People who do not care about their lives, and the people who have no future. You know, if you care about your life and you've got morality, you've got morals, you will not need a condom, because the best that you are going to use is abstinence. Abstinence does not leak. There's no hole which will allow a virus to pass through by abstaining. But by condom, there will be some viruses that are going to pass through, because a condom is not 100% protective.
Yes.
So instead of condom, let us try conduct. I end here.
Thank you, Evangelist. Indeed, the condom does not protect you from sin.
Yeah.
All right. So, Von Kelebai, I would like you to come in and, give your thoughts over what Evangelist has delivered, and also make your submissions. Von Kelebai.
Yes, thank you so much. I wanted to talk about what he had spoken over the issue to do with the homosexuality. You know, this is a huge debate as well. And today we have Catholics. Now the Catholics that were against most of religious leaders were against homosexuality and could not even be allowed to bless a couple of the same sex. But today they have given those provisions. There are those exceptions, but that does not mean that in Zambia the Catholic can go ahead and they're allowed to bless a same marriage sex, because in Zambia what the Catholic needs to understand is that the Pope, when he made those pronouncements, and that rule of his pronouncements only apply in countries that are that allow homosexuality, that does not forbid same-sex marriage, that the priest can go ahead and bless those couple. But as for countries that do not, that have a deliberate law, pieces of legislature that forbids same-sex marriage, the Catholic cannot. They are not allowed to conduct such marriages and solemnize them. They are not supposed to do so, because they are following the law of the land. Today, we Christians, or we religious people, we are here to clean our souls. We claim we are sinners by virtue of being born from the blood. We have so much things on earthly things that are of sin. So when I hear Christians negating people that are different from themselves and start categorizing them or cage them or put them in one basket, I find that to be a little bit hypocritical and to be judgmental. I find it to be, I struggle with it myself, because no one is perfect. We have people that are heterosexual, that do the normal thing and have sex, and what they do in the bedroom, we really don't think about it. We don't care what goes on, how they do it, because we have seen couples, we have heard couples that do things, a married couple, a heterosexual, a straight marriage, that can do all sorts of things. They spice up their marriage. They can go yakumbuyo, they can do all kind of things, ano, or no, it's just for their pleasure in their own home, and it's none of our business. We don't even talk about it. But for as long as it's a male and female, and that's the kind of example I want to draw, to say, look, we have to really think in details of what these homosexual people does, if we do think like that, don't you think that we are ones who are just putting ourselves deep into this mind that they themselves they don't see that way? Because them, it's love. You see them loving each other, holding each. They're not killing each other. They are loving each other, even though it's not normal. Because we are not the same. We have people that are disabled. We have people that are born with two organs, that are born differently with two organs. They have the vagina, they have a penis, and we have people that are born without a penis or without a vagina. They are those deformations. How do we relate to those? And how do we exclude them? Do we point fingers at them that they are sinners? Do we judge them? So I feel I want to say that as Christian, we really need to be inclusive. We are here to help people, especially the sinners, to turn into good people with no sins. How do we do that? Religious came to sinners, not to people that are righteous. So, and when Jesus came to this planet to die for our sins, he came to die for our sins. He did not come to die for the righteous. So when we look at those type of arguments, of course we can bring out all those things. But what I'm trying to say is that inclusivity, let us learn to be inclusive. We know there are people that are different. We have people that are wizards. We have people that are corrupt. We have people that are thieves. We have people that are prostitute. We have people that there are so many things that the people are doing, murderers. But what do we see? Do we chase them from church when they come? Do we not put their hands on their heads to bless them to turn into good people? It is that kind of pressure I'm trying to look at, to say, instead of us being homophobic, let us try to love our brothers and sisters. If we think they are not born that way, let us pray for them. Let us help them. Let us hold their hands instead of us being the righteous one and start killing them. So I find that argument to be a little bit, strange. That I know it will take time for us in Africa to accept that fact, and that's why we have laws that forbids that. But one day, maybe we are going to understand, to say, we really people do born differently. So we can change the law one day in the future. But for now, as it stands, the Catholics, they should not start attacking the Pope or they start speaking against the Pope, because the Pope, what he meant is that let those countries where they allow homosexuality practice, let them bless those couples. In countries where there's nothing, with the law is forbidden, like Uganda, for example, in Zambia itself. Uganda, you can even be killed, hanged to death if you are found to be homosexual. So that's my point. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. You've really explained it through and through. And I'm sure Evangelist is itching to give a response on this.
I am.
Please, Evangelist.
First of all, when let me put it this way, it is true that we are all sinners. In Romans 3 verse 23 says, all have sinned and have gone astray, all of them. Where they are homosexuals, they're lesbians, they are whatever they do, black, white, whatever, they are all sinners. But God has given us a standard. And that standard, it is prescribed as the 10 Commandments.
And he has given us the standard of sins, that there are sins that are heavy and there are sins that are not heavy. Big sins and small sins. Is that what you mean?
You must be allowed to continue, CJ.
Yes, Evangelist, go on. Hold on. Evangelist, please go on.
God has given us a standard of measure, the 10 Commandments. It is God himself who said, thou shalt not. He knew that there will be sinners, and he knew that there will be people who make it, but he gave us the commandments. And it is the same God who said, you shall not have sex between man and man, because it is an abomination. The word that comes there is an abomination. It is the act, CJ.
Yes.
CJ, it is the act that is an abomination. God does not say that the person that does that is now not wanted before God. He talks of the acting. The acting is an abomination. Now, and he says, those who do this shall not enter the kingdom of God. You can read this from Romans 1, verse 18 to 20. That is God. Now, even if we are sinners, we are not going to allow them to do those things because we are also sinners. No. The issue here is that wrong is wrong. And those people should not be allowed, because God has provided the vagina and also the penis. He did not provide the vagina for the vagina, nothing. A dog, you will never find a male dog having sex with a fellow male. Not at all. Meaning that dogs are wiser than some human beings. They know that this one is a male. I cannot go for him. This one is a female. I cannot take my vagina to this female. Animals know. Now human beings, they've lost that sense. I want to tell you the truth. That kind of teaching, in most cases, it is in Europe. And the other countries in Africa, which wants to live that kind of life. Here in Zambia, if it will happen, it will take many, many years to be accepted. But I want to tell you, it is wrong, it is not right, we will not accept it. The people that are involved, what does the Bible say? The people that are involved, the Bible says, they will not enter the kingdom of heaven, because what they are doing is an abomination. What is an abomination? An abomination is something that you don't want even to look at twice. It's like a dog that died in the month of October. It's very hot. That is stench of smell that comes is an abomination.
My Lord. And
that is how we look at this lesbianism and all whatever it is. This is where it is. So we are not castigating. It's not that we don't want the people. We want them to know Jesus Christ. We want them to come to Christ. But we are not going to baptize the sin. The Pope has baptized the sin and the devil. And now what he's saying is that let's accept this. What is it that has changed, TJ? What is it that has changed in heaven and before God that has made the Pope to discover the new truth, which was refusing before? The issue is that nothing has changed. It is the devil that has crippled the position of the Pope. I can tell him in the face to say he has just baptized the devil. The issue is that it is wrong, it will remain wrong. Whether my country here accepts that, it will still remain wrong. So here, those that do it, we love them but we don't love their act. We care for them. We don't care what they do.
Mhm.
We want them to come to the salvation, to the truth and know God.
Mhm.
If they want sex, God has given them penis and a vagina.
Mhm.
They can enjoy that. If they've lost the appetite of that, well, too bad. That is sin. And the Bible says, those who do this shall not inherit the kingdom of heaven. I end there. So I leave this to each one of us to examine what we want. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Evangelist. Now, time is running out, and I would like us to, get into the summaries. Wumkilebai, I'm going to allow you 3 minutes just to make your closing submissions on tonight's topic as we are looking at the forbidden fruit. I know you've spoken so much about the homosexuals, lesbians, the LGBT people, but I'd like you to also hammer on other angles as well as we come to the close. Do not exhaust everything on that segment. Thank you. Wumkilebai.
No, thank you so much. Not until we have our children that are born differently, that's when we will understand what it means to have a child or to have a man that cannot identify himself or himself as a man, but feels that he is has female features, or a girl. We have seen even girls that are born uh, um, they are born with breasts. They have everything, but you look at the way they want to they exhibit what is coming out. It's just of a male figure, and they can't pretend it anymore. Some, they don't even have breasts, but they have a vagina, and you see the behavior has changed. So sometimes we need to just think outside the box and understand and accept. But like what Shabuula said, as African, it will take time, I know, for us to reach that day where we're going to accept the abnormalcy. If we could kill people that are born with albinism, then we can tell that the homosexual it's even nothing, because we are still far away to accept the fact that people can be born differently. And when people are born different, we need to accept and accept their right. Anyway, coming to the yes.
Let me just throw in one question, since you've still touched that one. In Africa, our custom believes polygamy is okay. One can have multiple wives. In comparison to homosexuality, which one do you think is better?
I mean, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say, is that we want to consider other as a sin or as not normal, and then we want to normalize our own when we know that we have laws that statutory laws, for example, that forbids that bigamize the marriage for heterosexual that wants to marry more than one woman. You can be jailed for having married if you're contracted under. So I find your argument to be very it's a good argument. It's a good argument. But what I would tell you is that if a human being is given the free will to practice how they feel, how they wish to live on the planet, that's why we have different religions today. We can never be all Christians. We have Muslims, we have Buddhists, we have so many beliefs. Do we have to kill them because they believe in other religions? Do we have to demonize them? So if a human being today comes with their own right, it's their body, their choice. They decide to do certain things. Who are we to demonize them? Who are we to say You are bad. You are bad. So we are now going back to the issue of judgment, that we are judging others. So anyway,
please proceed with the others as well. Thank you.
yes. So that my point is that we need to accept one another and learn to coexist. If we have given ourselves laws that forbid certain traits, let's stick to that, because that is our law that we've given ourselves. So we cannot. And even those people who have turned into something else, or not who are born differently, they will know. They can actually choose. They can relocate if they want to go to a place where they are allowed. Anyway, coming to the issue of sex, the issue of telling people to say you cannot be sexually active when you are not married, when you can't have this, you can't have that. The question is, who are we to decide for them? We can just give them information and say the dangers. What are the do's and the don'ts? What are the consequences? Because instead of instilling fear in people, let us learn to come up with good reasons and excuse to say, and reasons to give to say, when you do this, these are the issues, these are the consequences. Look at the diseases. Look at people dying so young because of indulging yourselves in illicit sexual activities. So try to restrain, or if you can't, because you are human, you cannot control your moral, your thinking. Try to abstain or use protective measures. Use a condom. Go and have sex, but protect yourself. You women, protect yourselves as well. Don't say, the key is actually to women, because when a woman says no, it means no. They are the ones with the key, because even the laws of all the international law protects women, because they know how vulnerable women can be. They are the ones with an answer, because the moment a woman says no, it means no. When you force yourself onto a woman, it becomes a crime, and you can be arrested and be jailed. So let us respect. Yes.
Yeah, you mentioned that it's okay for two consenting people to have sex. Okay, are you fine with your daughter of 18 years actively engaging in sex? Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Before marriage?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
You may proceed.
I'm okay with my daughter who is actively. If I am so open to my daughter, because I know for the fact that as she is 18, she has turned the age of 18, and she's actively, and I'm very aware. I don't want her to hide, because the moment she starts hiding from me, she will make poor judgments and start having either multiple partners. So I'll even invite the very boyfriend, come bring and tell them, please mind the way we. No, I know. I mean, we differ, so you cannot laugh at. I mean, we differ in the way we approach cases. So if you allow your children, you lock your children, your daughters, behind closed doors, you don't allow them to go out there and they go and learn other things. Those are the ones that it's up to you. It's your decision. It's your home. But in my own house, I would allow my child to be able to, if that child is actively, and even me as a parent, I know that this child of mine is very active in terms of sex. I would advise them to be very careful and to either take precautions and educate them on the dangers. Give them information. How they use that information, it's entirely up to them. They are of the legal age.
A minute, please conclude.
The youths, when they have attained the legal age, they are very active. They can enter into any contract. You, as a parent, your consent becomes limited, because there are certain decisions that they make. But if they are still under under legal age, they are under you as a parent. This is where you shine. You do your job. But if they are above the age, then you communicate to them as an adult and you tell them, these are the information I've given you. If they choose to go the other way around, it is entirely up to them. As a parent, of course, I would advise my kids to either abstain, not to be so active, to use protections, or to even, I can even allow them to masturbate. I can tell them. Because, I mean, I can do that.
Yeah. That one, God help me.
What is the danger of telling your own children when you know that they are very active sexually, they are very sexually active, and you know that one of the best ways to restrain them from making this is either to introduce them to God, to religion, or you give them your own lecture as a parent, the rules of the house, or you tell them the dangers, you give them information about it. And if not, you can even tell them how to protect themselves. Use condoms, or you can also masturbate. No problem. Who has not masturbated? Come on. Lelo tuzilanga ndisema champion, ndisema tina mamoros. When tenze kuma boarding school, we used to masturbate, and we know that even today, other children, adults, we the parents today use those tricks. Cannot tell me. You can't be hiding behind clothes.
Please conclude, Wamkelebai.
So tell the children the truth about, open up discussions with the children about sex. Open up. That if miambo ndiye virenga tuvana twankala tumahule, twankala tuma abusers. But if we are so open to our children, muzapeza tivana, they are well informed. Their parents are able to communicate with them about sex. Sex education to your children, especially my teenagers, my youths, it's very important. But because of miambo, comes in our way.
Sorry,
especially religion.
Now we are out of time. So
that's my take.
Please give us the comments before Evangelist winds up. Evangelist,
because we're in Europe, because we're in Europe. These are my
Director, let us have the comments quickly.
But that's my opinion anyway.
Okay, so Lawrence says Evangelist on fire, and he laughs. Thank you. Mr. Abia says nothing of those is better, CJ. Those two are wrong things. Or he's talking about polygamy versus homosexuality. Okay. Percy Chama watching. Namwinga watching. Okay, Abia comes back and says, sex before marriage is sin, my brother. So if you can say it's okay, if you can say you are okay with it, then I doubt your parenting and your Christianity.
Exactly. That's my parenting. That's my parenting strategy. That's my strategy.
Emmanuel says, let's teach people the right things and things that are biblical. Any other comment? Any other comment?
What about our brothers, my Muslims, my Hindus, my non-believers?
Wamkelebai under fire today. Mr. Abia says Wamkelebai is a deceiver.
Well, that's judgmental. Now you're judging me. The Bible says, "Do not judge."
Do not judge. Yeah, Mwaleta moto Womkelewai, you brought fire. All right, so time is really running out. Evangelist, please give us a summary and a conclusion. And even as you are at it, please touch on a few things that Womkelewai has mentioned, as well as on the aspect that in our culture, there's a saying, the ati mulamu ni ndio, and you said don't touch your mulamu. And
no one is demonizing that.
So please, Womkelewai, give your concluding remarks and touch on those few issues. Evangelist.
Thank you so much. I would like to start with a very nice example that you've given, CJ, of polygamy.
Yes.
Or bigamy. You know, the laws, our laws in this country, and the laws in Europe and America, bigamy is a serious offense that can send you to prison. Sometimes you can serve up to 4 years in prison for having an extra woman. Now, the same people that do that, when it comes to homosexuality, lesbian, and all those, transgender and queer, that to them is not an offense. Can you imagine? Now, which one is really serious? Here is a man that goes for another woman. They are saying you can go to prison for between 2 to 4 years. But when a man goes for a fellow man, or woman for a fellow woman, there's no case. What is that? I leave that to each one of us to judge to ourselves. Now, you see, Zambia is a Christian nation. And for me, that is teaching, that is bring out this. I'm a Christian. I didn't say that I'm perfect. I'll repeat. I didn't say that I'm perfect. I am a sinner. I make mistakes which my fellow brothers and sisters make. But I will not sit here to baptize the sin and then tell people to be free to do whatever they want. Because the Bible is a guide. The Bible is a compass. The Bible is our instruction. It is our rule of law. We cannot do other things outside the Bible. Even me here, when I break the law, I don't break the law because it's not there. The law is there, and we need to uphold it. We cannot break it. And now this same law is the one which gives us morals. This is morality from the word of God. And it's God himself who says it. Those who do these things are actually an abomination. And he's the one who says, such will not enter the kingdom of heaven. It is God. We are not judging. It's biblical. We are merely pronouncing what is in the Bible. That's what I can say. Mulamu wako ni ndio. Mulamu wako ni ndio. Yes. Mulamu wako ni ndio. Those people who are careless with their lives, those who have no respect for their wives, they have no respect for families, they have no respect for the community, they have no respect for the families where they've married from. How do you take your young sister's wife to bed, or your elder sister-in-law to bed? It is just wrong, it is not right. These are people who are united. You found them united, working together, loving each other, but immediately you saw her, you decided to divide them. Is that what we should do? Ngati ni ndio, then ina pilipili mbili na sote ya mbili. Sote ya paka na pilipili. It's not good. So CJ, That kind of talk is for weak men, those who have got the desire for their sisters-in-law and for relatives. You have vakamba too. Futi you have vakamba na matemzi yokamba ti ati kuhulu mama muna tabuona ula ichuku. It is so wrong. It is wrong. We need to uphold morals, ethics. These are given to us. That is what makes us human beings. Now, the issue of sex. Sex is given between married man and married woman. In other words, people that are legally married, they are the ones that are given. For example, when Adam and Eve were created, they were told to multiply, to subdue the earth, to fill it. So they were told, so that now that is between two people that are married. Now, when we do it outside the marriage, then we have defiled the law, and we have defiled ourselves, and we have defiled the house of God, the church, which is our body, which is a holy temple. In other words, we have defiled the temple of God. That's how far this goes. So it is not because I want to make it very, very clear. For those who say no, it is how they feel, it is up to the individual. It is not how you feel. It is not how I feel. It is what God says. Whether we are Christians or no Christians, because even Muslims, those Muslims, they also believe in purity. The Shintoism, they also believe in purity. Confucius, they also believe in purity. Any ism that comes in, it will believe in purity. What is not purity? It is individual standing. How you look at the things. You say, I'm going to deal with these issues in this way. When you deal with things in that way, it's up to you. We cannot say, don't do it, because that's your choice. But what is the morality of the community? How does the community look at it? Because we are not island. We belong to the society, to the nation. And if the nation or the society in which we live in condemns a certain behavior, it means that becomes a norm.
Well, we seem to have lost Evangelist there. I hope.
Yeah. So it becomes a norm. A norm is something that has been accepted by society to say this is how we are going to live. If you live differently from what society expects you, then you become an embarrassment to society. As simple as that. Finally, sex has destroyed many people. Sex has destroyed the kings, queens, presidents, prime ministers, judges, priests, evangelists, elders, and guardian boys, guards, doctors. Sex does not know anybody. When you do it wrongly, in a wrong way, then you become an embarrassment to society. Let's not allow sex to destroy us. This is what I had for us this evening. The choice is yours. each one of us can choose what life to take. But I want to urge you, brothers and sisters, to accept what has been taught this evening through this system, that sex done in this way is wrong, because the norms of society does not allow that. To make things worse, we should not even allow our children to go and test the sex. It's like asking our children to go and test the logo. Imako logo pamono poison, uzasaka weka, gatufuna kumwa poison, drink poison. Gatusufuna kumwa, it's up to you. No. Barembera to baika paga, let's go at danger, don't touch. Baika na kaya muntu. They don't say you try and see what happens. So even me, on this lesson, I'm putting a scar over a dead man. That if we do this, then we will destroy our Miambo. We shall also destroy the work of God and the Bible and the sanctity of the Word of God. Thank you so much, brothers and sisters.
Thank you very much, Evangelist. Thank you very much, Vom Kilebai. Thank you, Percy, Abia, Ruben, and everyone who managed to be part of tonight's broadcast. We do appreciate your comments, your contributions. Unfortunately, we're not able to have you call through the line because we were having Evangelist through the phone call due to network challenges here and there. Please, if you have a situation that you'd like us to analyze for you and be able to help you, please, you can send it to the number that is scrolling on the screen. The number is 0972 959 608, 0972 959 608. If you need counseling, you need help, whether it's you're a couple, you're in a relationship, please, you can also reach out to Evangelist Shabuula. His number is 0977 527407, 0977 527407, and he'll be able to assist you. You know, this is NSAKA, and we're here to bring morality, to bring you to the right path and what is acceptable in society, and what will help you have a better home, a better marriage, and a good life all around. This has been an exciting episode of NSAKA. Do join us next week in the new year for another episode when we'll be looking at another exciting topic. From me, Vom Kilebai, Evangelist, our director who has been Emmanuel Nkunika, we say thank you, enjoy the festive season responsibly, and good night.